All right, hey internet, how's it going, everybody out there? Everybody's going through and giving their 2 cents, their take on the Mandalorian Pinball machine that just got released. Figured what the heck, and go through and share my opinion also, right? I love these videos when they come out. We only get them a handful of times throughout the year, mostly from Stern, right, for their production volume. But I'm super stoked about the Mandalorian Pinball machine. It's a theme I love. It's a great show. It's one that actually really kind of grew on me. And yeah, so let's just dive right in. Let's talk about the shots. We don't know a whole lot about it yet, but let's run through what we do have, all right? Here we go. Let's start with the Pro model. Solid artwork, good package, pretty much what I expected. Very kind of grungy, deserty. I think it's pretty solid. We got a cool ship. Right. All right, let's just stop right there and take a look at this right here. Okay, so this is kind of our first shot here, right, at just the overall layout. Now, first impressions. It's fan layout. We've got a clear left shot here up on the left-hand orbit for that spinner. We've got that scoop we can shoot into. We know that's where you kind of collect your Beskar from those targets on the left. To collect your Beskar and turn it into the foundry, that's going to be the foundry. And that's a good interaction. It makes a lot of sense. The foundry, you're kind of down underground, right? That's how it's been represented in the show. We've got our left ramp. We've got a center shot that swings, a shot behind that. We've got an inner loop. And then we've got a right ramp. And continuing along our fan, then we've got our right orbit. So we got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of 7 core long-term shots, right? And we got a couple closer ones up as far as those stand-ups on the left and the right. Gets you up to around 9, which seems like the kind of standard for fan layouts, right? You got about 7 to 9 kind of primary shots you can go through and be making. Now, I have to say the other thing, I'm not against plastic returns for ramps, but in this setup here, where we have them returning right back across the playfield, especially that long left one coming from the right back over to the left flipper. I do like, you're going to see on the premium, it just has wire forms there. It's so much cleaner, so much easier still to see the playfield, see the artwork, and enjoy it. So I'm not a huge fan of that on the Pro, but I mean, for cost, every bit of metal adds up. I understand why they're doing it. Yeah, okay, so good basic fan layout. I think there's a lot of potential for those shots. The one thing you always got to keep in mind, right, is we don't know the code yet. So some people like fan layout, some people don't. I think they can be a lot of fun. Big fan of some of Brian Eddy's other games. I think there's some good potential here. Let's keep going through and see what else we have going on kind of behind these simple shots, right? All right, first thing we get to see here, Baby Grogu. Yes, Mandalorian, first thing you expect. You got to have a Baby Grogu, right? Baby Yoda, he's right there. Okay, and if you can see underneath here, we've got these lights on these lanes. Child, it spells out child because he is the child, right? A little bit we've heard so far is you light those and you'll be able to kind of collect some random rewards or random things are going to happen. Kind of like the mystery spot on lots of pinball machines. There's a lot of back and forth on the mystery kind of concept, right? I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't mind it. I think it's fine. I don't know that I can think of a machine that has like a mystery reward element to it that I think has really added a lot to it, but it doesn't get in the way. I do like that there's like a number of lanes there to collect. You've got pops right below that. I'm not sure how easily we saw that or not. There's some pops just below that. Can help get the ball back up and around, so it shouldn't be like too impossible to get all 5 of those lanes lit to collect something. Other than I'll just state the obvious, we have Baby Grogu here. What's he do? Does he do anything? Is he just there as my plushy toy? I'm afraid he is just there as a plushy toy, knowing Stern's track record. Stern, I love Stern. Some of the best games in the world, I think. They do an amazing job at super solid, fun, enjoyable layouts. They have amazing programmers. But sometimes I think their theme integration with the actual toys and some of the mechs and other things that kind of always feel obvious to us as consumers, like, oh, why don't they do that? You know, Led Zeppelin, there should be, a staircase, or there should be a Zeppelin that holds the balls, or Grogu, he should be able to like grab the ball with his hand, or he should somehow be like interacting with like the magnets and stuff to change things. He's got the force, right? And I'm not seeing that, so I'm concerned about that, or a little disappointed, but not entirely surprised. I mean, I'm an operator. I have games on location, and I know once I get one of these, it's going to do great. People are going to love it. People love the theme. They're going to gravitate towards it. They're going to want to play. Though I do think some of those are a little bit more avid pinballers and want to get into it. I think a lot of people would probably love to see a little bit more integration there if at all possible. All right, I don't want to beat a dead horse. Let's keep going. It's good stuff there. No problem. Now this actually in the same shot, you can see up here, there's this coil right here, which has to do with this diverter, this whole metal gate. So this shot, this left ramp can go up around behind, return all the way back around, we said, or it can be a diverter. It's going to kick the ball over to this upper right section of the play field where you have what they call the encounters, right? So let's get to that. All right there. So we see the ball gets diverted. It kind of comes down through a couple of steps, bump, 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 clunk, comes down here. And now we've got this little mini area called the encounters. And this is interesting. It kind of reminds me of like Pirates of the Caribbean, Island of Tortuga. You got all these shots that are just trying to hit these stand-ups almost randomly, right? But here we've got a flipper, and I mean, obviously you got to try to hit these shots. This is where, again, the coding, the programming is going to come into play. It could totally change if this is fun or boring, right? I mean, at its heart, you got a semicircle of 6 stand-up targets. Nothing amazing. Do we just need to go through and hit them all to finish that mode? We've got level 1, 2, and 3. We can make assumptions here, right? And this is totally all just assumptions and guesses. Maybe your first encounter, you just need to hit all 6 shots before you drain the ball, and hey, you maximized it, right? Maybe in later rounds, you need to clear them out, 2 times and then 3 times. So like the total of 18 shots to really get, that could be like a natural progression we could see, right? Another thing that we're just seeing the lights kind of go on, but maybe there's a mode where maybe it's, certain of those you need to hit, not just any other one. Maybe there is the ability to have a little bit more skill in which stand-up target you're hitting, right? Just hit the lit one, or just hit the ones that aren't lit to light them up. And if you can do that in fewer shots, maybe you maximize. I'm making leaps and assumptions here, right? But I guess what I'm saying is it looks simple. It takes up a chunk of space for what it is, but I think there's potential. Again, it's going to come down to how it gets integrated into the actual rule set and the modes. It could be just kind of a get in there and hit some random shots and move on. You didn't really care about it. Or it could be an actually kind of core thing. They're saying these are these modes, right? We're going to get into these encounters. What does that really mean? How do these encounters work? We jump across over to the premium. That is, like totally different. Okay, the premium, you see it drop down in. This is now tilting. It comes flat, gets released. And we got 2 flippers here, okay? Smaller gap to lose the ball. Does that mean it's going to be easier to control on the premium than on the pro? Maybe. Again, it depends on what the objectives are with this playfield, right? There's a lot of love-hate with mini playfields. I'm the same, trying to go through and build my own custom machine. I got a mini playfield, and I'm not sure if it's going to work out. It might just be a waste of space. Like, what does it really add to the game? But they can be cool. I think some of them do add a lot, and a lot of people really enjoy having them there. Okay, so, but again, this tilts. That definitely changes a lot. Is it worth all the extra moving parts and potential, linkage points that might break? I don't know. But, I mean, from it just being a flat shot to one that's way more vertical, as you'll see here, like it is going to be a lot harder to kind of keep that ball up and control and hit all those right shots when it's at a vertical spot versus down more horizontal. If that's actually kind of like changing why are we hitting the shots, kind of like the Pirates Caribbean ship, right? I mean, it's going to feel very, very different for sure on the premium, and that could change things dramatically for you. And that's kind of like one of the primary toys, right? And then we've got that and Baby Grogu on the side. And the premium, he does have a magnet in front of him. He grabs the ball. He'll be able to kind of throw the ball back and forth around at you. So at least there is some more interaction there with Baby Grogu, which I like, versus it literally just being a standing toy on the Pro is all it seems to be on the Pro. So yeah, this is a tough one for me. I don't know that just looking at it here and what we're seeing, that I would be convinced to go premium based on just this. The magnet in front of Grogu, how much is that really going to change what's going on? At the end of the day, you've got rollovers you're trying to collect, and does the magnet change that a whole lot? Magnets are fun. I love magnets, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a simple implementation. We've got to wait and see when the code comes out, because that can change so much. It looks solid. I like what I'm seeing. Is it everything that I hoped we'd see in Mandalorian, everything we get? Well, not necessarily, but I mean, again, we know the manufacturer at Stern. Their focus is always so much more on just playability, good solid shots, solid code, and then the toys and mechs and everything else kind of always feel extra. And sometimes they really, surprise us and delight us, and sometimes maybe leave a little bit to our imagination or leave us wanting a little bit more, But all right, that's my 2 cents on this latest release by Stern, the Mandalorian Pinball Machine, Pro and Premium models we're seeing. I think it looks cool. There's a lot of potential here. This is so exciting. We only get this a handful of times throughout the year. So thanks for coming along. Like and subscribe. After this, I'll get back to my regular videos talking about the pinball machine that I'm building, my own homebrew Led Zeppelin. Hope you're enjoying that. Lots more to come. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.